Hey guys, welcome aboard. So it's been a minute since I've made a video, but that's because I was participating in Birbfest on Instagram. If you don't know what Birbfest is, every day of January you're given a list of birds, and every day has a different bird on it, and that's the bird you need to draw that day. So that's what I've been doing, and I figured we could go over all of the birds. So originally I had just wanted to draw all the birds in this sketchbook, but then later on, I was just like, oh, let's do one really nice bird or two really nice birds or whatever. And then I just kept making a lot of other stuff, which is good. Like, this is not a problem. So, yeah, maybe we start with the sketchbook, see what happens there. You can kind of see how the style changed over time. So, day one was the common bronze wing, and that was a type of pigeon. It had really colorful feathers. So I knew I wanted to do something with watercolor, and I also wanted to use my Caran d'Ache crayons. So these guys, because I pretty much never use them, and they're not cheap. So yeah, so there's that guy. I also used pen and ink. This was kind of all over the place, but I didn't hate it. It was fine. I was very excited. This was day one bird, and we'll be going over stuff in like no particular order. Also, the sketchbook pages were really thin, so I'll skip like a page or two. There's a bird that I didn't like how it was starting. The next day, you can see all that, was the many-colored rush tyrant. So that was the day two bird. And here I did use watercolor all around. I think I had an underlayer on the bird that was watercolor, and then I went over with my Caran d'Ache crayons. And I was trying to be kind of like loose and gestural with the plant it was sitting on. It was just kind of like some kind of spiky guy, like those hitchhikers. Which I found out not too long ago that everyone has like a different name for hitchhikers. They're those spiky plants that stick to your socks when you're walking around, and it's awful. Shasha. Okay, next one. Razor Bill. So this is watercolor in Caran d'Ache again. I really liked the Razor Bill, and I'll be real with you, I was getting really upset in the beginning at the amount of colorful birds on the list. I was like, I just want a normal bird. I don't know why. I'm sure I'm like not in the majority of people who were excited for this bird. I don't know. Or I am in the majority of people who are excited for this bird. I'm sure many people wanted colorful birds, and that's why the list was very colorful. I am not like that. I was like, I just want some dingus brown birds, or black birds, whatever. But this was great. Loved this. Big fan. And I had a paint marker that I got to try out. Hang on. It's not even anything fancy. It is this dumb little pen that I got at Walmart, but it does a great job and it's super fine. So there's that. Okay. Also, I have these in between because I haven't sprayed anything down, which actually I should be remembering to put those back in. My apologies. Okay. So then we had the golden-headed mannequin. This guy was cute. He was just a little stout bird, and he was really bright. So again, this is just watercolor and Caran d'Ache crayons. Yeah, I think this is when I started to be like actually more abstract. I was like, we're gonna be loose, we're gonna have fun, this is gonna be playful. Okay? Like, I think day one I was taking it way too seriously. And because I didn't know about Birbfest until the day before it started, I was basically drawing a bird every day. A lot of people knew about it beforehand and would prep birds. I did not know about it beforehand, so I was literally every day making myself draw a bird. There was maybe 1 to 2 days where I was just like, I can't do a bird today, dude. I need a break. I just, oh. But then I would do two birds the next day, or three sometimes, because then I'd be like, okay, if I do an extra bird today, then I can take a day off tomorrow or whatever. But that didn't occur a lot. All right, rant over on that. So this one kind of looked like a toucan. It was a northern emerald toucanet. Pretty cool, very colorful. Again, being really loose, and I kind of didn't care about the background. I was just like, okay, leaves, forest, it's on a stick, very cool. And I liked how this one turned out, although I didn't like using the paint pen here. I kind of wish I had left that off. Maybe used a white crayon or something. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that one. A lot of these were fun. Um, I think this was the Mountain Bluebird. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do yet, so I was just kind of like warming up this day. Didn't know what I was feeling, so I started with some like markers. I hated that. Then I was like, okay, let's just do some blind contours of this bird. So then here's a couple more blind contours. Really liked how this one ended up. Sometimes you get good results with that. Not this one, this one. Couple more. And then I was kind of getting in the groove and I was like, okay, I would like to add a watercolor element to this. So then I think the next page, oh, nope, we're not there yet. More blind contours. Maybe at this point I was feeling it. Things were looking cash money to me. Oh, okay. I was feeling myself that day, guys. There was a lot of blind contours. There we go. Okay. So then I added some watercolor on top of what I think this is a gel pen, if I'm being real. Hang on, I got the pen here. They're kind of stuck together. Yeah, whatever the heck this is. Love this pen. My brother gave it to me. So yeah. So I really liked how this turned out. It just gave a feeling of flying to me and like just being airy and graceful and beautiful. So pretty happy with how these turned out. I really like this one. It looks like it doesn't have a head. It does. It just ended up over here. But yeah, very happy with that. And that's kind of similar to work I already do, you know? Oh my god, get back in there. This paper will find a home eventually. Okay. Ooh, yeah, guys. Okay. I was digging this one. So this is a white-eared pheasant. They kind of look like weird chickens, if I'm being honest with you. And I just love how loose this one was. It was so much fun. And the night before I had to do this bird, I was like, I really want to do something where I have the negative space left over, and that's how I do the bird, or how I draw it. So what I did was I painted all the brown first, and then I left like white gaps, like you can kind of see here. So then I would color it in with pencil, and I just threw in a red sun because I'm stupid and I thought this looked like a woodcut, and I thought I was being really cool with that. And I was, gosh dang it, I like this one. If you kind of want to see the process of how I painted this one, it is on my Instagram, and I'll put like my username or whatever, or handle, my Instagram handle on here at some point, or maybe even right here, who knows. Okay, nothing. I feel like the next one's pretty beefy too. Common redpole. A lot of people liked this one. I was okay with it. I was just like, yeah, that's fine. And this was another example where I was painting the background first and leaving white space for the bird and then just coloring it in. So there's that. Yeah, a lot of people on Instagram like this one. I don't hate it. I'm like, yeah, okay. Cute round boy. I really wanted a round bird. I feel like we weren't getting a lot of round birds in the beginning, so one of them had to be round. Let's get some paper in there. Let's try and remember a little bit here, you know? Whoop. No, that bird's too exciting. Gotta wait. Okay, so this bird is a silver-eared Messiah. Kind of a cool bird, but I don't think I was feeling it that day. So I just did a really fast one with markers because I hadn't used my Tombos in forever. So that's what that was. It was just all Tombow. It looks kind of fun. I don't know. It looks very like graphic designy. So there's that guy. Okay. Yeah. Get ready. Get ready for the reveal. Bam. Short-eared owl. I was really pumped for this day because I was like, oh man, we got an owl on the list. It's about time. I had felt like a lot of the birds were very similar bird types. I was like, dang it, we haven't seen a single shorebird or anything. Although I guess the razorbill was probably considered a shorebird, but it didn't feel like it, you know? Like I needed something a little different. I needed big chonky bird. So there's that. This was watercolor. Gosh, what was this red? Actually, I think this was a Tombow marker, and so was the moon behind it. And then I used colored pencils and that paint pen again, because I wanted it to have like a white halo around it, but then I just made it a really thick line. I really liked how the owl turned out, dude. Owls, pretty cool. Apparently, though, they're very dumb, which is funny because I feel like they're always seen as symbols of wisdom. But owls are not the smartest bird in the bunch. We actually have like an owl center near where I live. It's small, but it's cute. It's like rehabilitated owls or something, or just I don't know, owls that have been saved. All right, here is some kind of duck. I I don't remember what the name of this bird is, but I really wanted to do a pattern, and this duck seemed like a good way to go, you know? So I just had a bunch of repetition of ducks. And originally I was going to do the whole background green, but then I wasn't liking how it looked. So I did half the background green, and I like that there's some green and some not green. Because most of these ducks have like a green stripe on their wingtips. Um, but I don't know. Most of the photos I saw, they look like this. So having that element of green there was kind of nice. Okay, get back in there, buddy. Got nothing. Oh my god. Okay, I really did not want to draw this bird. It looked stupid to me. I was just like, I hate this. So here's a low effort bird, and all I could think was like, there's no thoughts behind these eyes. Every single photo of this bird looks like it's a moron. So all I could think when I saw it was that it's an idiot sherbet, because the colors on it reminded me of like sherbet ice cream or whatever, which is delicious. But yeah, and I have a video of how I drew this on Instagram too, or a reel or whatever the heck it's called. So this is just Tombow markers. Nothing crazy. You can kind of see the color palette on that side. So yeah, that was a quick low effort bird. Oh yeah. Okay, so another cool bird this day was common kingfisher. Kingfisher. Common kingfisher. And they're just super cool. And I had already had like some gouache painted for the backgrounds because I didn't know what bird was coming up next. And I was like, okay, whatever bird we get, we're doing on these. And the colors worked really well with the color of the kingfisher because they're kind of like a blue and a teal type deal. So yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about the white crayon here. So I kind of went over with pink crayon again. But it's cool. I like these guys. Pretty fun. I really like the beak shape on the kingfisher. A lot of the beaks had been very similar to, for the most part, at this point. Wow, did that not have a paper in between? Okay, here you go, buddy. Do, 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 do. Kind of in a similar vein. Um, I believe this one is the red-bearded bee eater. Like I said, I didn't write down all the names for the birds. So there's this guy. And that was another like just background I had already set up with gouache and then went over with crayon. They're fun. They're loose. They're very playful, they're very childlike. I'm like, "Yes, sir. Let me have some fun with my art," which is, really important. There were definitely some birds and you'll see them coming up where I was like, "I am burnt out. I do not want to do a bird today," or I took it too seriously. Here's one. Um I was excited for the little penguin, and that is what it is called. It's called the little penguin. But that day, dude, I was tired. This was towards the end of January. So there's a couple like birds we've skipped on here because they're on the big paper. So I, I just used, oh my god, what pen was it? A Stablio pen. And I just did three little penguins. I think they're cute, but I don't know. They're not, I didn't try hard. And I didn't like love the end result. But whatever, like, you're gonna have to have a couple bad drawings to get to the good ones. That's just kind of how it be. Um I did this bird the same day that I did the penguins. So again, another low effort bird. But this one's kind of fun. It's a red jungle fowl. It's basically just a rooster. But yeah, that's that. Okay. And then I was kind of feeling the groove. I was doing these at a coffee shop and I was like, let's do some blind contours of these. And the first couple, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But these, I feel like this is pretty strong, right? Like big chicken energy. I just love how the legs ended up here. Just the feeling of movement for me is so fun and exciting. Here's some stupid penguins. I love them. They're dumb. This one in particular, just little dingus energy. I don't know. Just a whole lot of energy. You feel me? Okay. A couple more penguins. I don't know if that'll pick up well on camera. It's fine. This one ended up looking weird, almost like a little gremlin monster guy. Like this has an eye in the center and it's like a cyclops and there's ears. Oh shit, I didn't actually. Oh, sorry, I probably shouldn't have said. Okay. Anyways, um, I like this guy. That's a good guy, and I had not noticed him before. Because when I'm making these, I'm not looking at the page, so that's how they end up like that. Okay, that's it for the sketchbook. So that filled up quite a bit, and I'll probably continue doing more birds in this one and just make this like a little bird sketchbook. So yeah. Also, sticker swag. This is from a local artist. His name is Quentin Brown. He has a lot of cool abstract shapes and stuff in his paintings. He also has some like don't quote me on this. I feel like they're abstract landscapes, but they're all kind of geometric and neat. Labubu, because I'm stupid. And then I had never been to Scooters, and they gave me a sticker, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll put that on something. And here it is. Thanks, Scooters sticker lady. Like, oh my gosh, she was so friendly. The service there was great. I'm not sponsored by Scooters, but if I was, just kidding. Okay, I don't get sponsorship, guys. Oh god, there's like dust bunnies on this one. This was one of the earlier birds. This is a king eider, I think is what it was called, and he was so sad. Like every photo of this bird I saw, it looked like he was crying. I was like, oh my god, who hurt him? Um, I don't know why I'm getting emotional over this bird. Uh, I this was a bird where I was like, I gotta get serious on this one, dude. So I wanted to do watercolors. I think it turned out okay. I think the water could have been a little stronger and the reflection could have been stronger. Um, this also has colored pencil on it, so you can kind of see the green on the cheek is colored pencil, and there's a little bit on here. I think I was afraid I was gonna mess it up or something, which is fine. I don't know. Maybe I should have just messed it up. Whatever. I love this. I love this bird. This was done on good paper for once. I broke out the good paper for this, and the good watercolors. It was this man was important. Okay, he needed to be done right. So there's that. Okay. Oh gosh, guys. Okay, I was really liking this eagle until I did his face. I can't remember what kind of eagle this is. I'll be honest with you. It's not a bald eagle. It's some kind of other eagle. Um, it was fine, and then the background got weird, and then I thought I'd be really funny on Instagram and put like "Freebird" as the song behind this post, and I guess that was just a lost joke among everyone. That's fine. I think I'm funny. Okay, but yeah, there's there's this. I really like how the wings turned out, okay? I'm proud of the wings. The face looks silly, very not strong. Not a smart, intimidating looking bird from me. I'm sorry. I also did not like this one. I was very excited to do this bird, and I can't remember what it's called, but this did not go how I wanted it to, and I gave up on this one, and I ended up posting like two dopey pen sketches from my sketchbook as the post. I did put this at the end of the post, so it's still technically on there, but I was just like so upset with myself that this didn't go how I wanted it, which is fine. Again, you need a couple stinky drawings to get to a nice drawing, or like you're just not gonna always be 100% every day, you know? Some days you're just, it's not gonna happen. You gotta get over that. This is an Indian peafowl. This was the last day of Birbfest, so this was day 31 of January. I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do here, but I got some paint markers out. I like what ended up happening. I didn't know what to do for a background, so I was like, I'm gonna cut this out and I'm gonna collage a background and it's gonna look really cool. And then it didn't, and I stopped working on it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna paint a watercolor background and jam it on there. And it looked okay in the post, I guess. So there's that. I'm more interested in what's going on here, you know? Hang on, I can show you, like, the mess that became. Take a gander at this bad boy. Things were not working out. So that didn't happen. I guess don't be afraid to, like, stop doing things. I was like, I have to finish this collage. Okay, I just have to do it to get it done and then put it on there. And then I was like, no, I don't have to do that. I'm an adult, gosh dang it. Anyways, here are some oyster catchers. I think this was day 30. I love oyster catchers. I used to live in Washington, and these little guys would be around, and they're super cool. Kind of bummed out we didn't have a cormorant, actually, now that I'm thinking about Birbfest. There's just a lot more interesting birds we could have had. I don't know. There was a lot of good birds. There's probably a bunch of birds on there that a lot of people liked, and I shouldn't be so picky. And I can draw other birds. Like, no one is forcing me to draw birds. I'm forcing myself to draw birds every day for the month of January. So yeah, anyways, oyster catchers. They are cute. They're in Washington from what I remember. I drew some like random oysters around them for funsies. So this is watercolor, and then all the orange is with a paint marker. Yeah. Gotta stop holding things so close. Alright, there's that. Okay, this one was hit or miss for me. This was a common cuckoo, which, okay, the spelling of cuckoo really throws me off because it looks like it should be pronounced cuckoo. Anyways, I think this bird unfortunately got like a hold of Ozempic or something because he turned out really thin. He should be a much broader bird, you know? Like, yeah, I don't know. I like how the background turned out. The bird itself could use some work. And this is pan pastel for the background, which I really enjoy now that I've been playing around with it a little bit. Um, the the black part I think is a China marker, and then the white is the paint pen, and then some other stuff is just like acrylic marker. Let me see if I can find one of those pencils. So this is a China marker. It looks like a really thick, soft pencil, I guess. It's almost like you're drawing with like a Play-Doh crayon. It's weird. All right, there's that guy. Oh man, what was this? Oh right. Um. Oh man, people were really excited for this day. This was a nuthatch, and nuthatches are cool. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of fans of nuthatches. Boy howdy. But I didn't know how to draw this bird, and they're very well known for this pose that they do, where they're on a tree and their head's kind of up and they're facing down. I don't know. The birding community is very into that. So I was just trying to do. At first, I wanted like more smooth calligraphy looking like birds. So I think I used ink here, and that just wasn't going well. So then eventually I was like, okay, lots of scribbles, let's go. And then it just felt weird having a bunch of birds and poses, so I drew like just some loopies and like some gold rings around them. Very Christ-like birds. Just kidding, just kidding. I don't know. People like the nuthatch, okay? That's that's all I gotta say about that. Here's a New Holland honey eater. Really wanted to do stuff with ink, so this is just black India ink and my Tombos, I think. Yeah, I think this is Tombow markers. Um, there's stuff I like on this. There's stuff I don't like on this. I really loved working with whatever pen nib I had. Oh my god, it was so smooth. It was like big and thick. It was amazing. It was really nice to write with. I was like, oh my god, amazing. Um, I wanted some like ink splotchy things on here that didn't really work out well because you can kind of tell it's my fingers. But also, it's like 5 of them, so it looks like a honeycomb, so maybe that worked out. Yeah. New Holland Honey Eater. This was kind of a cute bird. I liked him. He was a little different, you know. He was black and white and a little gray with like a big strip of yellow. And I was like, that's the amount of color that I need on my birds. Okay, just like one. Pick one and call it a day. Although I really liked the Gala cockatoo. I'm sure a lot of people have seen this bird before. So I was just trying to be loose with this one. This is with watercolor, and then I went over it with Micron pen. Yeah, I really like how this one is. This one just, it's doing it for me. The others are cute too. Not so much this one. It was just kind of like a poofy position. This guy though, that's doing something, right? All right, that's enough of the cockatoos. This was a really fun day. Gosh, and I don't know the name of this bird either, so apologies on that one. But this is on nice paper. Wowee. Okay, I really like hot pressed watercolor paper. A lot of people like cold pressed, and that's understandable. But for what I like to do, I like hot pressed. It's very smooth. The water kind of sits on top, and it takes forever to dry. Whereas cold press usually has like a bunch of grooves in it, and it's really rough. And it's really good for dry brushing, which I hate doing. So yeah, kind of works out that I like hot press. So this is with watercolor and Caran d'Ache crayons. Yeah. Just again, a bunch of different birds and poses. Kind of like the cockatoos and the oyster catchers, I just wanted to do a bunch of guys. And that was really fun. It's just really fun when you have to work on multiple birds at once because you're just like working in layers. I don't know. I like when things have a system. All right. Speaking of not having a system, just kidding. Here's this guy, a tufted jay. I was really excited to do it, and I kind of like how it turned out. It kind of gives me like an 80s Devo poster vibe, or maybe not Devo. What's the famous one with the lady's face? Is that Devo? Or is that Duran Duran? I don't know. But yeah. So I started with a bunch of blue ink in the background. Then I went over with either a black dip pen or the white paint marker. I was just kind of loose with the bird. The tufted part ended up a little bit much, but whatever. I didn't like how I wrote this, but again, whatever. And then I did some like really fun ink bubbles that I popped on here. That was kind of neat. And then everything just felt too blue, so I needed something that would contrast, and that's why that yellow strip is on there. And that's just a paint marker. So yeah, Tufted J, pretty cool guy. Would share coffee with. Okay, we'll do this one here. I friggin' love this pelican. I This was my first time trying pan pastels. If you don't know what a pan pastel is, it's like this. I would compare it to using like eyeshadow, but in a painterly way. It's very fun to work with. Highly recommend. They're a little pricey. So yeah, this is a pelican. Again, I was very excited to have a bird that wasn't just standard bird shape. This was like big burly boy with a beak, you know? And then he's got the weird like beak pouch thing too. So that was very fun. So what I did was I did a blue background with the pan pastel. Then I erased a bunch of it. I don't think I went over with any of the white pastel now that I'm thinking about it. And then I did some colored pencil on there. Yeah, I really like this one. I don't know. I dig it. This looks like it could be a postcard. I can't remember if I sprayed this one or not. I probably didn't. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I definitely didn't. I need to put fixative on everything, and that's a project for another day. Okay. So I did this bird the same day that I did the pelican, actually. Actually, I think that was the day that I did like 3 or 4 birds because I was playing catch up. This I don't remember the name of. I swear it's called a red-legged something. But these guys were super cute. They're just fun little guys. I don't know. They kind of look like roadrunners if I had to compare it to a bird. So that was again another fun shape that I was looking forward to. Maybe some people were like dreading doing these. They're like, "Oh god, another bird with long legs. I can't." So yeah. And then again, I wanted a contrasting color, so instead of doing the grass like green or yellow, I did blue pencil because I thought that would look cool. And a lot of them have like this blue eye patch thing going on. The background is also pan pastel, but it's very light. I don't even know if that'll pick up. All right. Oh my god. Okay, so many people liked this bird, and this is my least favorite bird. We just saw like my favorite bird and my least favorite bird. If I had to pick a favorite, It's either going to be the pelican or the owl that was in my sketchbook, maybe. Um, I hated this bird. I think I did this bird like once or twice, and I was like, okay, yeah. And I don't even know where those went because I didn't care about them. But everybody liked this drawing, and I was like, what? Do we have eyes, dude? So I guess if you don't like a drawing that you made, someone else might. So you're doing yourself a disservice by not posting your ugly art. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, I hate this. I'm not trying to be discouraging or anything. Or if you're like, wow, that's amazing, like, why are you being so mean? I, I am so happy that you like it because I didn't. And maybe one of my favorite birds, you're like, ew, that one's gross. Yeah, okay, weirdo. I don't know. Everybody likes different stuff. That's the takeaway. So, like, if you think your art's not good, like, maybe someone else will like it, you know? I don't know. Anyways, that's my rant. Just keep making art, okay? Um, okay. I'm annoyed that we're ending on this bird. Just this one looked so cool in all the photos, and I was trying so hard to like make it delicate and pretty, and it was just kind of like meh. It's okay, I guess. I can't remember what the name of this bird is either, but I was like excited it had a long tail. Here, put it this way, maybe you can see all of it. It's just meh, a little lackluster. And you know what the thing is? This probably has a lot better vibes than this one does. This one's got an element of fun to it. I don't know. So yeah, that is what I was doing all of January. So maybe I'll just go through them real quick. Were you guys participating in Birbfest at all? Did you know about it? Will you participate next year? When will you wear wigs? Just kidding. What bird was your favorite, I guess, if you did participate? Or if you didn't participate and you just saw my stuff, let me know what your fave is. Or which one you were like, ew, okay. Just kidding. Don't tell me that. Keep that one to yourself. Um, what else can I say about birds? I really like birds. I'm into birding right now. They're cool. Birds just they make you feel things, and that's pretty cool. I'm a casual birder. I just like looking at birds and learning things, man. What else to say? I'd highly recommend you like try to do a challenge if you haven't before, but don't like beat yourself up over it if you don't do a drawing every day or if you don't have a drawing to show every day. Like art's to be fun and chill, you know. We're relaxing. There were definitely some days I wasn't relaxing, but I wanted to like challenge myself a little. And I've done like Inktober's in the past. I have been successful on some of them, and some of them I have not been. Like sometimes I'm just like, okay, I can't do the Inktober. It's too much now. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna put this down here so we can see. Um, or if you want to like participate in a low key way, just do drawings like this every day, and you don't have to post them. Like you don't have to share them. You can follow along and just keep it to yourself if you want to. If you're like, I don't want to show everyone, but I want to like do what everyone's doing. That was the other cool thing. Okay, so the big thing that I liked about Birdfest was you got to see a bunch of other artists and how they interpreted how to draw the bird that day, which I loved that. There were so many different styles and ways that people drew birds. And art's kind of like stealing, you know? You're kind of like looking at other stuff and you're like, whoa, that's cool. I want to try that out myself. So like I think that's kind of what got me into the crayon use and the watercolors. I was like, I want to try using my crayons and being like really loose and gestural with my birds. Because sometimes I'm just like, I look at a photo of the bird and I'm like, I have to draw the bird as the bird lies, and that's not the case, you know. Like you can draw whatever you want. Also, this was just a good winter activity. Like it's nasty and cold out, so drawing indoors very nice, or enjoying a cup of coffee and just thinking about birds. Some days I would like do the bird before work because I'm like, I have to get this over with. Also, filming yourself drawing is really weird. I've gotten a little more used to it now, but I just, oh, it's a little intimidating, guys. So yeah, thanks for looking at all these birds with me. I hope you guys see some cool birds while you're out and about doing your thing. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.